For the first time in Connor McDavid's career, last year we saw a slight digression for points in a season by the superstar. You see, excluding the COVID seasons, every season of McDavid's career saw his point production to continue to go up, but last year was the first time that we saw it go down. So it made me ask the question, has Connor McDavid finally peaked? Or does he still have another gear left in him? That is what we're going to be discussing today. As always, guys, thank you for clicking on this video. Really appreciate the support. We're on the road to 6K subs. So the last video I said that we got like 70 new subs. So guys, you know what to do. We're going to 6K subs by the end of the year. And then who knows, 7K, 8K, 9K. So yeah. And as always, leave a like. It is the best way to show your support. And drop a comment down below because I read every single one. And I also comment, reply to every single one. If you don't believe me, give it a try. With that out of the way, we're going to be discussing Connor McDavid and if he actually has peaked. That is the question of the video, guys. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. And with that out of the way, let's get back into this video. So it is interesting to think about this because you look at the points that he's been able to put up, and it was one of the most common remarks about Connor McDavid. Yes, they touched on his speed and just, how fast he can be, but it was, he continues to get better, and you saw that with his third year in, his fourth year in, his fifth year in, and we're on year 9, and it's finally the first time that I think people can maybe argue that yeah, he might have peaked 2 years ago when he reached 153 points. And last year he followed it up with 132 points. But this year, right now, he's on pace for 120 points. He's currently 30 points into the 20 game mark. And yeah, that's on track to being 120 points. So it's still unbelievable. It's impressive. You look at Sid, he's only reached 120 points once in his career. And it was his second year, if I'm not mistaken. Was it his second year? I know he was a 100-point rookie, which is really impressive. But second year, I think, was his highest scoring season, which is kind of crazy to think about. But yeah, so could this be? Has Connor McDavid peaked? By all accounts, you look at the stats, and it would kind of lean towards that. So, and I'm curious about this as well. Obviously, Connor McDavid, he reached 1,000 points this year, 4th fastest player to ever do it, which is hockey history, baby. It was so cool to witness that. But I'm going to read this off, and I'll show the graphic as well on the screen right now. It took, for his first 100 points, it took him 92 games. To 200 points, it took him 82 games played. To 300 points, 67. 400 points, 67. 500 points, 64. And then, by gosh, oh my goodness, look at that. To 600 points, almost he was clicking at a 2-point per game rate, which is just insane. 53 games played. And then he follows it up with 68 points, 58, 58, 58. So he's been very consistent in that. As far as points go, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if Connor McDavid will ever be able to reach 153 points again. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think as far as points go, he might have peaked. I still think he's going to be, MVP conversation player every single season. I still think he's going to be in the conversation for the Art Ross until he retires. But in short, McDavid, he might not have peaked in traditional sense, but it is possible that his absolute peak, his highest statistical output or most dynamic seasons could be behind him. Even if he isn't always putting up 150 points seasons, whether or not McDavid achieves the elusive Stanley Cup and solidifies his legacy as one of the greatest of all time is the next question to answer. In the world of elite athletes, though, peaking often means reaching a plateau in one area, like total points, while maintaining dominance in others, like leadership, playmaking, and consistency. McDavid may be still evolving and adapting his game to stay among the league's best. And I think that's worth noting. You look at Stevie Yzerman. He was an unbelievable player, and he racked up all those points. But until he started playing a two-way game, is when the Detroit Red Wings is when Stevie Y finally won that cup. So who knows? Being a stat merchant, putting up all these goals and assists, you're peaking in stats, but that doesn't mean that you're peaking as a player. So I'm kind of on the fence. I think, yeah, Connor McDavid may have peaked with the highest statistical season he's ever going to have. It would be really impressive, and it's it would be cool to see him get 160 points. But man, you doubt this guy, you doubt Connor McDavid, and watch what he does. Like when people doubt this guy, you look what he's able to do, and you saw it in the playoffs last year. don't ever doubt Connor McDavid, and who knows, he could just pop off here and have like another 140, 130 point season this year. And it is crazy because I remember watching Connor McDavid growing up. I'm like, oh my gosh, he just continues to get better. And I often thought, I'm like, when will Connor McDavid hit the ceiling? When will he finally reach his peak? Because every single season he's putting up more points. He's got a higher points per game percentage or whatever it is. Each season it was the climb, and you just saw the green arrows. And I was always curious, when would it be that, maybe not red arrows, but when would be the plateau of Connor McDavid if we're looking at points? And I think this is the first time I could probably say that it's probably right now. And that is insane. The fact that he continued to get better every single season for 10 seasons? This is his 10th season in the league, 9th season, I guess. So the fact that he was continuing to climb 9 seasons, it took the guy 9 seasons to finally reach that plateau. And you look at Connor McDavid, you look at Sidney Crosby, you look at Ovechkin, you look at those guys, when you compare them to, Geno Malkin, Patty Kane, they peaked way earlier. You look at Austin Matthews, he probably peaked, I think. And that just speaks and just shows how great of a hockey player he actually is. And who knows, I could be incredibly wrong. You see sometimes with players, they do take a step back and they do kind of maybe not have the best season one year, and then next year, boom, they skyrocket. They have the best. You saw it with Nikita Kucherov last year. You thought his 128 points back in, was it 2018-19? It was one of the best, in the 21st century, one of the best scoring seasons I ever witnessed at the time. And then after that 128 point season, he took a huge, and you used to watch it with Jonathan Huberdeau as well, except the only difference, Jonathan Huberdeau never shot up and probably will never shoot up to being a 100-point player again. But Nikita Kucherov, he took 4 years off, and then he had his best statistical season last season. So who knows? Actually, now that I think about it, maybe McDavid does have a 160-point season in him. This is kind of just the weird lull of his career, and you see that with players. It's not just McDavid. A lot of players go through this. I'm super curious to hear what you guys have to say. Drop a comment down below because it is an interesting topic. I've got more videos coming out this week. I've got this cool contract video that I'm working on, the biggest duds, the worst contracts in NHL history and currently. So my buddy's actually helping me out with that one. So can't wait to release that one for you. And then I've got a Jets video coming out because I kind of want to start talking about more teams instead of just Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers. So you guys have that to look forward to, and just more educational videos to come. So join this journey with me, guys. We're on the road to 6K subs and then 7K, 8K. It's not stopping there. Hopefully 20K one day. That would be really, really cool. Got a lot of cool things on tap here. So join this journey with me. I hate asking. I really do. It's a pain in the butt. But unfortunately, if I don't ask, I see it in my analytics. If I ask for people to sub, then I usually get subs, and if I don't ask, then I don't get subs. So I don't like asking, so if you guys sub, then that means I don't have to ask as much, which would be dope. So that's all I got for this one, guys. Has Connor McDavid peaked? Is there still another year for Connor McDavid? Who knows? Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. But that's all I got for this one. Take her easy. Don't be average when you can be above average. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace!